Welcome to another episode of To Serve with Love. I am Brenda Flores Robles, and today's guest is Aliya Levinson, author of How to Win with Willpower. Welcome, Aaliyah.
Yay! Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
Okay. So what is willpower?
What is willpower? So I think when we think about willpower, I mean, a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I don't have willpower. Like, I just don't have it. Like, it's like concrete thing that either like people have or people don't. And I definitely felt like, well, I'm someone who like doesn't have that, like almost like a character trait. But I think it's actually more the belief that I can gain the momentum and the drive and the motivation to do what it is I want to do, or stop what habit I want to stop, and just get to where I want to be, basically. And you know what, Brenda, I'm just going to share this on my profile because this is good stuff. Okay. How do I share this? Share now. Okay, I think that's it. There we go. Learning on the go.
So where did you get your idea to write this book? Why is it so needed?
Oh my gosh, it's so needed. Randomly, a publisher found my blog and they hired me to write this book. So they actually had this book in mind. But I think they connected with me because a lot of what I talk about is how to get out of your own way and all the stories you kind of have in your head about, well, here's what I'm capable of, here's what I'm not capable of, here's what's always stopped me before, so it's going to stop me again. So I think they kind of plugged into that knowledge and knew that I might be a good person to, you know, share more on the topic. And I think it's incredibly necessary because we all, you know, so many of us feel like, well, I might not have what it takes, or I just can't get out there every day, you know, for a coach or wanting to get on video or something like that. And these stories really limit us. So being able to break free from that and, you know, find a way to move forward in a way that feels like good and fun and like, yes, of course I can do this.
So you have to like kind of like motivate yourself.
Yes. Motivate yourself and get rid of like the self-talk that's saying, I can't do it, or at least understand that self-talk so that you can kind of have almost some compassion for it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why did you write 75 strategies and why not 25? Why did you stop at 75?
I know. Isn't that a great question? Why 75, like the most random number? Well, I want to give you some like amazing, like this is why 75 answer, but I truly don't have it. It's actually, that's what they wanted. So sometimes we have to work within like the, you know, what they're saying is going to be good. So they were like 75 strategies and I had to kind of create and come up with those. So it was a challenge for me too, as I was writing the book, like, wow, how do I like divide all of this up and like, you know, share this information? Good old 75.
It was very detailed.
Yes.
And I love that. It was very detailed and I was like, okay, so I got one strategy and I was like, okay, there's more and more. And it's like, when is it enough?
Yes. There's always more. So if you're like, wait a second, I don't know how, like, I got you. Yes.
So where are the best places to write?
Oh, what a good question. Where are the best places to write? Well, you know, I think it's probably different for everyone. Like, I know some people need like music to write and they need like that background noise or like a coffee shop or something. Obviously it's a little bit different now with the current, you know, environment. For me, I actually sat at like my kitchen table and I had like my certain spot and I had my computer and my notebook next to me and like my positive quotes, like you can do it sort of thing. And I found that to be a good place, but I'm sure it kind of varies from person to person of like, where do I feel comfortable? Where is like creativity sparked? Maybe it's outdoors for some people. For me, it was just at my good old kitchen table.
I love that. I also write on my kitchen table too.
Okay. So it's like tried and true method.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is some advice that you would give someone who lacks willpower?
Well, first of all, I would tell them that they don't lack willpower and that that is a belief that's really, it's easy to kind of buy into. And I know I bought into it for a while, like, especially with growing my business. I was like, well, do I have I was like, I don't want to be responsible for all these things you have to do, like all the various things that go on when it comes to growing your business. And I didn't think that I maybe had that ability to be disciplined or to schedule myself or time management and knowing what to do and all of that. So I would say first, just knowing that it's not a trait that either you have or you don't have. It's a belief and kind of like an identity that you can walk into. And I think once you actually believe, like, wait a second, I can have the discipline that I need to do the thing I want to do, or I can get to the place where, in my case, like I'm enrolling clients and making an impact income, all that kind of stuff. Once you are like, I'm going to choose to believe this, then willpower becomes something totally different than just this, I have it or I don't have it.
Great advice.
Yeah.
So how many books does a person have to read in order to start their own project?
Oh, tell me what you mean.
Because some people, they like information. So they read and read and read and read. So they're like, okay, well, let me read one more book before I get to start my project.
Yes.
It's never enough.
Oh my God, it's never enough. I mean, if someone didn't stop me, I'd be like, let me just read for the next 100 years and take like 10 more classes. And then I'll get to it when I'm like 99 and a half. It's such an easy trap to fall into because we're like, well, wait, I probably need to know that information if I'm gonna, am I still good?
Yes.
Okay. It's like, well, I probably need this information if I want to set up this part of my business, or like I need to know this, so I can't move forward until I have all this information. And one thing I've been talking to my clients about is just not needing to have the whole gourmet dinner like cooked, right? Like we don't even need to know what we're making. We don't even need to know if it's like chicken or like pasta or whatever. We just need, okay, I have like one ingredient. Like I have the eggs. Like this is what I'm doing first. I'm like taking one step. I'm like putting something in my planner. Okay, now I've done that. Now I like mix in the whatever. So like you don't have to see the full picture to know that I can start and just have that like one step and then congratulate myself for that. And I think it's a hard mentality because we want to know like, wait, I'm going to end up with the gourmet meal, right? Like I'm going to end up with this beautiful thing. Because if I don't think I'm going to end up with it, then I don't even want to do it, which like I get. But I think once we get out of that mindset, we can actually move forward in a easier, more stress-free way.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So tell me about your growth mindset hat.
Hat, like,
yes.
Or hat.
The growth mindset hat that you had in your book?
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, well, I think there's, these two mindsets that Carol Dweck talks about, and she talks about a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And with a fixed mindset, we're kind of saying, here's what I'm capable of. Here are all my attributes and like what I can accomplish and all of that. And that just is. So like, I'm either good at tennis or I'm bad at tennis. I'm either good at writing or I'm bad at writing. I'm confident in getting on videos or I'm not confident in getting on videos. But with a growth mindset, we're telling ourselves, and with wearing a growth mindset hat, that, okay, I may not know how to do this right now, but I'm going to choose to believe that I can start to like figure out how to do it. So like, today, I may be freaked out to play tennis. Like I'm super bad at it. I'm not athletic. Like I'm not coordinated, right? But I'm choosing to wear my growth mindset hat and believe that if I start playing tennis just once a week with an instructor, that eventually I can get good at it. So I think that's more of that growth mindset of like, I may not have these skills now, but I'm choosing to trust that I can gain them through practice.
Great answer, Aaliyah.
Yeah. Thank you. I do not play tennis, by the way. And yeah.
So what are some distractions you have right now at this moment?
Some distractions.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel so bad because the first thing that came to my head was I have a newborn who's almost eight weeks old, and she's thank you. Yeah, she's not a distraction, but I obviously, I'm kind of juggling. Okay, how do I connect with her and spend like quality time with her and do everything I need with her, but also have self-care for me and, still coach clients and still grow my business. So that's been kind of an interesting balancing act of figuring out and I think it's true throughout life with everything we do. It just feels very poignant. Is that the right word? Or very blaring right now. And then, of course, I can find anything, social media. Yeah. There's so many things that distract us. And I think if we know those things and have an awareness, we can make a choice to do something about it. Like, okay, I know this thing has the potential to distract me. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow myself to have it at 15 minutes at the end of the day or whatever it is.
Yeah, because I saw that you wrote, we can't avoid distractions. Instead, we plan for them.
Yes.
In your book.
Yeah, exactly. And I think knowing them and then saying okay, I can actually choose to not make this a distraction, and giving yourself that power is so freeing, because then you're kind of in control of it to the best of your ability. Yeah. So
what do you do when you get writer's block?
Oh, good question. So oh God. I mean, when writing the book, there were so many times that I had writer's block. I mean, most times I sat down to write, there would be some point where I was like, oh, I can't think. I would say my ways of getting around that were leaving the computer, going and doing something else, whether it was having a little dance party by myself, listening to music, going and reading an article, listening to a podcast, calling a friend, anything where I could get my mind off of it. And then usually something they would say or I would hear would inspire something, and I'd be like, gotta go, Yes.
I understand where you're coming from, because sometimes I could be talking to someone and then you're like you get an idea in your head, you're like, oh my God, this is it.
Yes, totally. Yeah. You're like, okay, bye. I love it.
So where do you get your inspiration from?
Where do I get inspiration from?
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like I remembered this after having my baby, was when I plugged back into coaching, when I started coaching my clients again, when I started listening to podcasts again, listening to things even from my coaching school, plugging into community. I think that all for me personally is super helpful to turn on the creativity and be like, ooh, I forgot about that, or that makes me think about something. So definitely not sitting and waiting for it, but going out and seeking it, taking an action, I think has led to my own inspiration.
Yeah, I like to use a lot of affirmations,
Oh, I love that. What do you use? What sort of?
I go online and then check affirmations
I love that.
Or I get it out from some books,
Yeah. Affirmations can be so powerful, and they're so simple, but so good. Yeah. Nice.
So what is next for Aaliyah?
What's next? Well, I've been at a little bit of a pause because of the babes, but really just continuing to coach and grow. I ran, and I'm going to start again running groups for new coaches who are eager to grow their business, but they're more so wait, I'm great at coaching, but the whole business thing, like how do I do that? And how do I set myself up online and kind of get out of my own head and own way and just like have that accountability. So I'll be running more of those groups in the future. I'm so excited about that. It's so fun. Yeah, just creating that community.
That's awesome, Aaliyah. Thank you. I want to thank you for coming to Serve with Love podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Go check out Aliya Levinson's book. Where can they find it, Aaliyah?
So they can find it on Amazon. They can find it at Barnes & Noble. I'd say Amazon is probably the best place to go get it. And if you have any questions, they could find me on Facebook and message me or on my website.
That's great. Thank you very much, Aliya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.